What's up, guys? I'm Grant.
I'm Tash.
Welcome to IndieBNB.
It's a nice episode. We talk with High Crime, upcoming band out of Seattle, Washington. Cool time. A little longer episode, but I think y'all enjoy the show. All right, welcome to IndieBNB. We're here. Grant and I are here with the band High Crime from Seattle, Washington. We got Brielle and Mitch. How are y'all today?
Good.
Real good. You guys?
We are great. Excited to be here. Love y'all's music. We, we're all about promoting indie bands and helping get y'all's sound out there in any way that we can. And at the end of the day, Grant and I are fans. So we're just sitting here talking as fans of y'all's.
Perfect.
We appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
We are very excited to have y'all here. So I guess I'm going to start with a question y'all probably weren't ready for. What's up with the toothbrush on the merchandise page?
Okay, I guess you could. It was Mitch's idea, and I thought it was fantastic. Like, I guess you can explain more because it was more your idea, but it's
short answer, there's no good reason. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid, but you go to so many shows and every band they're selling shirts and CDs, and if I forget whose show it was. I saw a band, they had pillowcases, and I was just thinking, oh, that's cool and unique. I'm sure people just buy that for the novelty of it. I saw people in the audience who had.
That wasn't Youth Lagoon, was it?
No, he had some other weird thing.
Okay.
Ben, it was just something where I know every time you go to like your childhood dentist, at the end they give you like a care package and it always had the name of the dentist imprinted on it. At least mine did. So that can't be too expensive to do. And if someone may not want to pay $20 for a shirt, someone may not want to pay $10 for a CD.
Right.
You sell a toothbrush for $3. It may be a high volume but low cost thing. And
it's super funny because we were like, people are gonna not get this at all. They're gonna think it's really stupid, or people are gonna love it. And so I think I brought like 40 to like one of our last shows, not expecting them to sell out at all. Like, we have, I don't know, a couple hundred of them, and they were gone by the end of the night. People were like, yo, we want more toothbrushes. And I'm like, well, I didn't realize I had to bring so many, but so people, to answer your question, the people love the toothbrushes, so we'll probably keep them around for a little bit.
Yeah, I went to like y'all's website and just clicking on each page, and I get to the merch shop, and y'all, you've got your stickers and whatever, and then I'm like, what is this toothbrush on here? Like, you don't see that every day. So do y'all use them? Are they good toothbrushes?
It's eco-friendly. They're made from bamboo, so we're trying to care about the environment, trying to look out for Mother Earth.
I have used it. Yeah.
Works pretty well.
It does. I was a little skeptical because I'm used to like the plastic and the kind, I don't know, the cushiony thing on the
rubber like grip.
The little rubber grip.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have the grip. It's just wood, but it holds really well and it's still comfortable. I'm a strong supporter of them.
What an awesome idea. I mean,
appreciate
I might have to order one. So now that we've talked about the toothbrush, how did this band start? I kind of read a little bit, and it sounded like it was y'all two kind of sitting in a bedroom making these things, and Brielle, you were kind of driving back and forth from school. Is that correct?
Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago at this point, but yeah, totally. Mitch and I worked promo for a radio station out here, and so we kind of got to talking about the music that we really like to listen to and stuff. And I was kind of not really doing music at the time, but I had been doing it in a little bit in the past, just like dinking around in my room. And yeah, we kind of just like got together one day and just started jamming, and it was like pretty easy and organic from the beginning. And I don't think we expected it to become anything really, but I think like that's how the best things happen, is you're not forcing them, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember even saying, because we liked each other's music. We sent each other a couple things and just said, oh, I want to hear what what we sound like together. And I told her like, hey, I'm playing in 3 bands already. I don't want to like, let's just have fun recording and writing songs together. I don't want to make it a whole big thing. And pretty quickly became my favorite thing I was working on, and stopped doing all the other things. Because we just recorded a 5-song EP while she was heading back and forth from college. And unexpectedly to us, the EP started to get some airplay from KXB, and there was a local TV show that reached out to us after hearing it. Hey, do you want to be the musical guest? And that's
yeah, it happened really quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we got the invitation to go on TV, it's like, all right, well, that's cool. We should do that. We never expected to ever play live. So, all right, well, let's play live, and quickly assembled a band. And since we did that TV thing, we realized that this could be something, and we knew we enjoyed working on the music and wanted to just keep going down that direction.
Yeah, so we're all kind of just both playing guitar and a little keys, and then maybe use like a drum machine or garage band or something to kind of finish off the rest of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
You nailed it.
Yep, exactly. And just like, what if we found some random thing that made a cool noise, or we're like banging on the back of chairs to see if we can we can make a cool sound or whatever. So
yeah,
I think there's a door slam, just like the bedroom door, putting a mic by that, and that ended up being some extra percussion and ribbons, I think.
okay. Yeah.
I love that 4 hours EP. And what kind of got me thinking, like, maybe it was just kind of 2 of y'all, and y'all just found a way either through GarageBand or something, was when I got to Something About the Way, I was like, this just sounds like y'all came up with something cool that just never blossomed past what y'all had. And was that kind of what happened there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, you do music, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So like, if you're just messing around with a loop pedal, you're like trying to work through a new idea or something. And so if we hadn't seen each other in a couple days or a few days and we're trying to get back into the flow, it's like, okay, let's just start a loop and we'll just build on it and see if anything comes of it. And so we were kind of just like bopping around, like building like oohs, ahs, and like, percussion and stuff. And then
just as an exercise, we're not trying to make a song.
Right. Yeah. And then at the end of it, it was like something to be said. I was like, oh, it's kind of like, okay, yeah. So we just recorded it through the amp, I think.
Yeah.
So it has a really like lo-fi kind of
and again,
gritty sound.
I think the recording was just for posterity, because we didn't want to erase the loop. Like, well, we had to work on something else.
Right.
It's like, this sounds cool. I want to keep it in my head. So we recorded it. And then I had the recording. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Let's put it on the EP.
Just pop it on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really unprofessional things about that EP. Like, because we would start recording things before we even had them fully written. There wasn't that much care and attention put into things. Things weren't mic'd properly. Things that were designed just to be scratch takes and they eventually be re-recorded. We never re-recorded them.
Right. But I will say it was probably the most fun I've ever had recording a record or an EP, just because there was no pressure around it. It was like, it wasn't like it needed to be anything. It was just like,
ditto.
Just whatever felt natural and whatever felt good. And I think maybe that's probably what we need to go back to and remind ourselves about, is like, it can be experimental. It doesn't have to always be this like pro setup all the time. It can just be fucking music,
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I'm a big fan of LCD Sound System. I feel like that's his whole model, is just, I found something cool, let's play it on repeat and layer over the top of it. And,
right.
And there's no rules. A vocal may not. I don't think the vocal comes in on home until like 3 minutes in, or something. And there's so many cases like that in their music. So yeah, it's kind of the thing with us, where that EP, that there were no rules, and after that we kind of had more rigid ideas. And yeah, I'm fully with you that it'd be nice to go back to just starting songs before they're finished. And we got ourselves into trouble because it was just the two of us recording things. So when we decided, oh, now we need to do this live, we're like, oh, well, how do we do that?
Right.
And I liked that challenge.
Yeah, and I read that, and I read y'all's blog post from last summer where y'all were kind of talking about how you were kind of holding yourselves back when you were writing because you were like, "Oh, we can't recreate this live." So, I'm guessing I've been down that road before. We were like, "Well, no one's ever going to believe that this was really me," or "Why would I do this if I can't play it live?" And how have y'all overcome that? That I guess you'd call it a fear almost of just not being afraid to say, "I don't care if we can't recreate it live. I like how it sounds, and we're going to do it."
Right. I think that's a good question. I think it's just finding a way to make it your own live. Like it doesn't have to be exactly how it sounds on the record in person, cuz I mean, I've been to shows before where I love the band and I show up and they play everything exactly on the record and I'm like, "Oh, this is boring." Like I wanted to feel something more, but it's like if you go to a live show and all of a sudden there's like some like keys solo on the bridge or something, you're like, "Oh, that's not on the record. I wasn't expecting that." And like it gives you, I don't know, it just adds like an extra element, I think, to like a live setting.
Hmm.
So honestly, I don't know if we ever really overcame it. I think we just we found the workaround of just like how can we make it sound different but still good live.
Yeah.
Is that
Have y'all ever
So
played? Have y'all ever played like one of your? I feel like a lot of bands will play a song live and then figure out like, oh, this would have sounded way cooler if we'd have done this in the bridge. Do y'all ever find that like you're just like playing and you're like, gosh, why didn't we record it like this? This is way cooler.
sometimes, yeah, there's been like a couple small things, but nothing too big, I guess.
I think, yeah, we're probably guilty the same thing that every band is guilty of. We play faster live than we do
Hmm.
on the record. So sometimes when I go back and listen to recordings, I'm like, geez, this feels slow. We gotta, yeah, four to the floor, baby. Pick up the pace.
Get a
But
little
yeah,
more punk rock in you.
yeah, Brill
Right.
can answer the last question perfectly. Where I think, yeah, it was never, and we overthink everything, but we never had to overthink about, oh, this doesn't sound the same on the record. As even though we play something that sounds different than the record version, it doesn't sound like we're covering ourselves. It still sounds like us, and it's
Hmm.
authentic, even though it sounds different. So it's never been an issue.
Um, what does so after y'all released that first EP, you only had 5 songs. So what 5 original songs? What did a live set look like for y'all?
We're
Short, really
Short?
short.
Any covers? I mean,
we were talking about
Yeah.
this the other day. There are a bunch of songs we wrote that we never recorded, and they're garbage songs. But we had these things that we would play live, and we haven't done that many covers. But our first two shows we covered
Pumped Up
Pumped
Kicks.
Up
We did
Kicks.
like a Pumped Up Kicks mashup with
mhm.
Mad World. That was really
Okay.
Same exact chords, yeah.
yeah.
I've since seen other people combine those two, but
Oh
I
really?
felt super smart for figuring that out and then
Yeah.
realizing,
I'll give y'all credit for coming up with it. How about
yeah,
that?
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think like a lot of the time it was, or some of the sets it's like we had to play like a longer time than we expected. It's like, okay, well, we'll just play one of the songs we played at the beginning at the end and maybe no one will notice. It's like when you don't have a lot of content, you kind of have to like work with what you have.
Hmm.
that the
Um
second show we ever did, that was at Doe Bay Resort, and
yeah.
we I think they over email they asked us for an hour, and the day we got there they said, oh yeah, so you're scheduled to do an hour and a half.
I feel like that if you're like a pro musician, you're like, cool, yeah, I have. But it's like as an artist that's starting out and kind of like building your catalog of songs that it's like that's a huge bummer to find out for sure. And
Yeah,
and we've had that happen a couple of times where it's I think now we could do it, but I think at the time it it was like, oh no.
the cheat we did, Brielle did a few songs solo, just like covers she learned when she was 16 playing guitar, and it was kind of the same for
Hmm.
me. Like, we don't know how to play these together, but we could do some short solo sets, and that bumps up our time.
Right, and like one person does harmony vocals or something, so it feels like we're kind of doing the thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little more professional now, but I'm sure those moments will come again where we gotta
Yeah.
we make it.
for
I
sure.
think I was in a band in college, and the first show we ever played was at this bar, and they were like, "You got to play for 2 hours." And we were like, "We got this." And like after like 53 minutes, we were done, and we were like,
Yeah, for
"Oh
sure.
shit, what did we just do?"
I guess we play the set a second time. But also it's like I feel like at that setting, unless people are like really coming to see you, it's like people are coming in and out. No one's gonna be like, "Oh, you played that one song twice." It's like I don't know. It's loud. People are just going for a good time, you know.
Yeah,
It was a good time. I can't confirm that. They definitely played a few songs twice, though.
yeah, had to, you know. And yeah, I love that EP. And my favorite song on it was July, which I thought was a very cold song to be named July. What is the inspiration behind that song?
It's actually the oldest song that I think.
You wrote that way before we met.
Yeah, I wrote that. I must have been like 16 when I wrote it or something. But I was totally infatuated with this guy, and he was like 1 year older, and like at the time it was like a really big deal. You know, he was a junior, I was a sophomore. And I just thought he was like the coolest. And so we ended up going to this Jinkulon Park over in Renton, which is just a town outside of Seattle. And I just remember we like made out in the grass for like an hour on 4th of July, and I was like, yo, this is like magic. Like I'm gonna go home and write a song about it. Like I was like infatuated. So that's what the song is about. It's about just like being super. And then, but I think what happened actually is I dropped the song for like 6 months, and then I wasn't infatuated anymore. So the bridge, like a balloon floating in the sky, I was going up fast, aimlessly higher. Like I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm just sort of like floating aimlessly. And
so that's where like the sadness comes in.
Because at the end it says like, and now we don't care. It's like, now it's over. That's it, you know?
That was just the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I love this song, but it sounds very cold to be named July.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny. It's like I like that song. I wish we had chosen a different piano patch. And every time I hear it, I'm like, like I just want to play it myself and not listen to the song. I appreciate you saying that.
And it's one of those things. Well, we would go back and change now. The piano patch is awful, and at the very end of the song, I'm hearing some kind of saxophone solo. I don't have a saxophone. I have a shitty Yamaha keyboard patch, so I like over it.
Honestly, I feel like maybe melodica could have worked there or something.
It could have, maybe, yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate the compliment, but that's what July is about.
And that was one of those songs where the recorded version is way different. You wrote it on acoustic guitar, and when we play it live, you still play it on acoustic guitar, so the live version's way different.
Oh, I played on piano.
Do you?
I think. I don't know. I
don't
remember.
The studio version's piano, but maybe I'm just thinking of the Doe Bay video we did where we played it on guitar.
No, I do play it on guitar live, and then we played it on piano.
Right.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a video on our YouTube page where Brielle's playing the song on guitar, and I'm like walking around her, just my cell phone. But it looks kind of cool. I like the way it turned out.
So then 2017 rolls around, y'all released Japan single.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever been to Japan?
No, actually. It's on my bucket list.
I've never been out of the country. We're so close to Canada. I've never even been there. I know.
I love the song. It seems like a song kind of reminiscing about youth and freedom to me. It's kind of how I interpreted it. I don't know if that's what you were going for, but that's exactly how I interpreted it.
Yeah, it's I lived in Spain when I was 19. And so it was really about my time there. But in the beginning, when we were writing, just kind of like messing around in Mitch's room, it was, I think the beginning, instead of as a traveling girl, it was all the way to Japan, and then it changed, but the working title still stayed Japan. And so there's all these references to like tapas, bars, cobble streets. It's like that has nothing to do with Japan. That's totally Spain, but we just kept the name.
I
Yeah,
like it.
for some reason,
Yeah.
Japan, it felt like the idea of going someplace you're unfamiliar with and just like being in that new space. Japan felt like it fit that more of the culture shock thing better than calling the song Spain or something else.
Hmm.
I don't know if it does or not, but I think that's how we convinced ourselves.
So then what led into going into the next year into releasing the full album, The Kids Still Got It? What did y'all just decide, all right, it's time, we got to release a full album?
Yeah, I think as we were working on Japan, we had most of those other songs happening, and just the recording and mixing and finishing writing took a long time because that once we did the EP and it came out, we got good response to it. I think we instinctively just thought, all right, well let's keep going. This time, let's make it an album instead of an EP. So had we had the songs ready, it would have come out even sooner. But between the EP and the album, it ended up taking roughly that 2-year window to get all the songs ready.
Right.
Hmm.
Because we're somewhat of a slow moving animal. Like it takes us by the time we get a song written, the recording of it will take several days for each song. It just took a while to record it.
Well, and we do
Did y'all,
all the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, with you, I don't know if you were still commuting at that point, but did y'all ever do sort of like what the Postal Service did, where they were, sending songs back and forth to each other?
Mostly on the first EP. By then you had graduated.
Yeah, yeah. I wish that sounds like such a romantic idea, but no, it was no, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that album seems to me like it seems very relevant today with songs like Doing All Right, Mania Days, and Fallacies. They kind of seem like y'all should have written that, last year in the middle of coronavirus and just being stuck at home and missing the outside world. Great album. And one of the things that really caught my attention in that whole album was in the song Wait. What's going on in the bridge when it's just like the spoken part?
Yeah.
That's
So
you.
there's no good reason for this, but let me try to tell the story short. All right. So I was a personal assistant for another musician who lived in Seattle. One of the things I would do, I would just go to his shows, then I would sell merch at his merch table while he played. And one of his gigs was this weird gig at this church. It was around Christmas time, and as he's doing the show, I'm just hanging out by the merch table. Everyone's inside watching the show, and around me, they have this box full of free cassette tapes that you could take. I'm guessing it had been there since like the 80s or 90s, and they had all these old tapes in there. And I had the cassette recorder, so I was looking at these tape titles and thinking there may be something I could sample on here. We haven't done a whole lot of sampling, so I don't even know why I thought I'm gonna grab these and just thought there could be some interesting. I think I've had an interest in sampling, but I was so afraid of copyright things. I don't
Hmm.
want to get in trouble with any of that. And these are just like recordings that were made in-house. I could sample them without getting into trouble, really. There's some interesting historical artifacts on there. Like they had recorded every church service, the audio of it. So I found the church service the day after 9/11 happened. So I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm going to take that just as an interesting historical artifact. But anyway, to get your question, one of the tapes was, I don't remember the title of it, but I could see just from the title was some kind of motivational speaker. And I listened to maybe the whole hour and a half tape and just was recording that into my computer.
Did you feel motivated after you listened to it?
It was dated. It was very dated. I don't know. It's just kind of the normal platitudes that come with a lot of things. So anyway, the sentences that he's saying in the bridge of that song is not what he said verbatim on the record. I'm maybe combining something from the 30-minute point, from the 12-minute point versus the hour point, and kind of making sentences that he didn't actually say. And just stringing them to where it kind of fit the vibe of the music. I don't know why I did it.
I think it works though. I mean, it's the idea, the overarching theme of the song. I feel is what he's saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Just like go for it. Like don't be scared. You can manifest your own reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the song was written when I was in college. I grew up St. Louis, Missouri, and went to college a little north of St. Louis. And I had known pretty early on that I'm going to move to Seattle after I graduate. There are so many, this big picture dream of what I want to do musically and otherwise in Seattle. And like the last few months of being in college, I wrote this song, just telling myself to like wait, be patient. Everything you want to do is on the horizon, and that's kind of where the lyrics came from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it wasn't like I was like, what is going on here? It was just sort of, you weren't expecting it the first time you hear it, and I thought it totally fit, but you didn't have it anywhere else, and so you're kind of like, I was just like, where did that come from? But I thought it was
the bridge of the song. It's only strumming on a D chord. It's pretty flat. There's no melody to it, and just doing a guitar solo over that didn't make sense. So it needed something to keep the song moving. And I agree. I think his voice worked pretty well.
I loved it. It was something different, but that still fit inside of the realm of what y'all were doing on that album.
All this time you spent just listening to our music. We've done interviews where people know nothing about us, so that you guys have listened. We appreciate
it. I didn't know who y'all were, 2 months ago, but y'all came across my Spotify, or it might have been Grant's Spotify, and found it. Well, that's the point of this podcast, is we want to find new bands, because Grant and I have this shared love of music that a lot of our friends don't have the same taste. Sure. And this is really just a chance for us to get to meet new bands, maybe score some concert tickets in the future.
Right.
And really, just to help promote y'all. I mean, I'm sure y'all have a great following out west. It's probably not as solid in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sure not a lot of people know about it, but if we can do anything to change that, that's what we're here for, is to help change that, to get y'all noticed, and to do anything we can to help y'all, because we're fans of y'all. So
whenever we tour through Atlanta, we'll be hitting you up to crash on your couch.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
So y'all keep moving along. You release Waves, and then you get to World's Fair last year. Your only song you released in 2020. Braille, I feel like it was like you found a new side to your voice. Like you found new opening to your voice.
Yeah, there's so much there, honestly.
There's a lot we've had so many discussions. Yeah.
Well, yes, I'll like short and sweet. I think I felt the need to create a sound for myself. Like I felt like my normal voice wasn't good enough. Where I was like, I need to like create some sort of cool, interesting way of singing.
I don't think what you were doing was your normal voice. There are a few singers you said you wanted to emulate, right?
For The Kid Still Got It?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really inspired by K-Flay, if you know who that is.
Oh yeah, I've seen her live.
He does.
I've seen her, yeah.
She's great. Totally not the way I sing, but if you listen back to Kids Still Got It, it's like, oh my God, yeah, I was like literally trying to sound like K-Flay. But I think with this new song, and I started taking vocal lessons, and it was really emotional for me, to be honest, because my vocal teacher was just like, stop trying to sound like somebody else, stop trying to like put on this front, and like it was way more emotional than I was expecting, because I had it in my head like, I know what my sound is, and now I have to go back to the drawing board and kind of start from the beginning again. But I feel like I grew so much as a vocalist, in the sense that like I wasn't singing from the right place in my body. I was doing a lot of things incorrectly. And so I had a couple years of vocal lessons since then, where I feel that I've really spent time trying to be authentic to me, sound like me, versus trying to sound like what I think I should be sounding like, because how I sound is perfectly fine,
I feel like I see that with a lot of bands, where sort of 3-4 years into them being a band, the lead singer's voice changes. It's not like you can't tell it's the same person, but it's almost like you just find your like natural voice, and it starts coming out, and it seems to flow into the music a little better. And that song was a little less electronic sounding than your previous stuff. Was that intentional? Were y'all going for that?
It's kind of one of the things that happened accidentally, and it goes back to the Foreign Hours thing. The Foreign Hours, we wrote just the two of us in a room where guitar and piano are our main instruments, but to make the song sound full, we had to experiment with other things. And with World's Fair, it was more written in a traditional band way, where it's kind of 4 or 5 people in a room playing together, and we didn't have a synthesizer with us. It was 2 guitars, bass, drums, the standard rock band thing. So we got the bones of the song sounding pretty good in a live room. So it's kind of the opposite of the way we worked before, where we went studio to live. Now we write something live and then have to figure out how to record it. So it was missing some of those electronic elements because of the way it wrote, which I think is why we're excited to go do things an old school way for us too. Because I think I really like the way World's Fair sounded. It's us at our most confident, but I think we can do more interesting things musically. I've been, during the pandemic, we haven't been super active. We haven't been writing a whole lot of songs together, but I've been working on music by myself. Brielle's working on some music by ourselves. Cody, our drummer's working on some stuff by himself. And like the demos I'm recording right this last year sound way different than the stuff we were doing with High Crime, because I'm adding arpeggiated synthesizers in there. I've been doing more piano, less guitar. So it's like a totally different sound. And I like that idea of whenever we start doing stuff like way more active again, then it will be something unexpected for us. Because I think around the time of World's Fair, we were in a pattern where we kind of, every band practice, it kind of starts the same. All right, we're going to do this. And you go into a pattern where you're just kind of repeating yourself. And I think moving forward, we'll find ways to not repeat ourselves again.
Yeah, and you can take a look at my notes. Literally, the first thing I wrote was right from the beginning of the song. It sounds like a brand new sound from High Crime. Like you could it still had the elements of what y'all had before, in my opinion, but you could just tell it was something fresh. And that's what I like to see from bands. I hate one of my least favorite criticisms people give to every band is, they sold out. Not I don't think y'all sold out at all. I'm just saying, bigger.
We haven't got the money for
it. Bigger band, like, people hear like the Black Keys and be like, oh, well, they sold out. Well, I'm like, well, you can't make the same album 8 times in a row. Like, you got to try new sounds. And so it was, I like to see people trying new things and trying to find a fresh sound, because it's hard enough to make one song, let alone one EP, let alone one album. It's hard enough to do that and then to keep making a fresh sound. So that's something that impressed me with y'all, is that y'all, even during the pandemic, you're like, all right, let's find a fresh sound. And Grant was a huge fan of the music video.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the music video is a lost art right now. I think that that's something that we've, I grew up on MTV Jams and watching that, on a nightly basis, on my TV at home and watching music videos. And I think that you guys, we got really creative with that music video. I just want to know what the process was creating that and really the inspiration. I mean, obviously the Ferris wheel's the main centerpiece, but talk to me a little bit about that.
That's great. I love anytime I love talking about music, but anytime someone brings up the videos, I get excited.
Yeah.
Because sorry.
It's just funny because Mitch will always come to me and he'll be like, okay, I have this music video idea, but it's not that crazy. It's really not that crazy. Seriously, it's really not that crazy. And then it's always crazy. It's always like 5 days of shooting, like all this like extra set building. And I'm just like, okay, I'm in this. I'm going to Michael's for the 5th time to get cotton balls or whatever we need.
We don't have
Go ahead though.
That means I can't wait to see what he says when he's like, look, I got this video idea and it is crazy. That's what I can't wait to see.
You haven't seen any of the crazy ones because we don't have the budget for it. Everything gets scaled down.
It does.
Yeah. No, but I'm with you guys. I think music videos are kind of a lost art. In addition to being musicians, we just like to think of ourselves as artsy, creative people.
Right. So
that extends to a lot of different areas. For me, around the time I started playing guitar, I also bought my first video camera, and I'm a comedy nerd, so I'd like write like with my sister, I'd try to write SNL type skits, and we would shoot and record them in my basement. I would edit them, and I really liked, and I enjoyed watching other bands' music videos. And I have my music video pet peeves that I just kind of carry with me too. Like if there's a moment in a band's music video where you're like 3 minutes into the song, and then right before a chorus, you stop the music, and then like somebody in the video setting says something and you bring the music back, it takes me out of it. I hate that. So
I can actually picture that, yeah. But wait, you were gonna talk about the idea behind the music video.
Oh, geez. So some music videos are more inspired with like the idea. There's no hidden meaning or anything behind World's Fair. It's just I had some images that I wanted to see, and I did paired it with the song. It doesn't have that much context or importance.
I think it made it easier to shoot the video because we have a Ferris wheel in Seattle, the Great Wheel, downtown, and so we were able to kind of bring that element into it as well.
Yeah, it started when I bought the Connect's Ferris wheel. I just bought that as a toy for me to assemble, and then when I built it, I'm like, all right, well, this could actually be used in a video for this song. So,
right.
So then you think, all right, so if this is a toy Ferris wheel, how do we build a video around that? And then you start thinking, oh, well, it'd be cool if we like shrunk ourselves down and made ourselves like on a playground kind of set.
Right.
And again, originally it was much more ambitious, but you scale it down. The videographer we worked with on that video deserves a lot of credit too. He's worked with us 3 or 4 times on different projects, and he's great at bringing sometimes ambitious ideas to life.
That's awesome. And then, obviously, with Rays and Crooked Sheets coming out, at the end of this month here, we got a sneak peek at the video with the animation, and that's something you've been kind of exploring. Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, like the animation piece and getting into that.
It started, I had a much more ambitious video idea where we were gonna, I won't even get into it. It was just something that wasn't possible. It would have cost a lot of money, but it still was going to include some animation in it. And the animation we needed was going to, just the time spent doing all the designs was really expensive. But I was talking to an animator about it. And then eventually when we started talking about price and the turnaround for the kind of project I was thinking, she was saying, well, to do all that, I would need this amount of money, and I would need 6 months of time. I'd probably hire a couple people to do these other things. Like, oh, okay, what can you do for this amount of money? and then she said, I can work with that. Here's the limitations it presents me. And we actually really like limitations. There's some freedom or some creativity that arises with it. When you have endless options for, like, if it's music, with MIDI, you could find any sound you want, but if you only have a few instruments and you need to make melodies out of those, it was kind of the same with a limited video budget. So she knew. We liked this girl, Barb Hoffman, her artwork, and for a much smaller budget, she said I could make these cute, simple designs and make loops of them. Some areas I could do some interesting transitions, but this is what I can do with that budget. I'm like, I'd like to see that. You sold me just on, because there's tons of great high quality animation, but I don't see a lot of very simple designs done well. So to make something very simple and just black and white and then execute it well, I wanted to see that. And I think she did a good job with it.
Definitely. I love the, whenever the words coming over while it says lock and I can see the lock locking up. I mean, that's, to me is just, it captures the music for me, in another way that, obviously you can get on Spotify and you can put your headphones in, but when you're watching a music video and you're kind of like in, getting the full experience, that's another reason I love, going to see shows live is because, you can hear Lucius in your ears but when you see them singing into the same microphone, it's a completely different experience. So, that's one of the things, obviously during quarantine, I've very much so missed live music and those types of things. But, what's the, where have y'all, where's the last show y'all played before you guys, ended up, obviously everyone getting locked down and everything?
to my we did like a live stream, but as far as like a live show goes,
Yeah, with people and
with real human beings watching. We played. Are you both familiar with So Far Sounds?
No.
Okay,
Not.
well, it's a company that's essentially worldwide. There's chapters in like all major cities, really. But basically, it's a company that does secret shows. So Far Sounds stands for Songs from Across a Room. So you have the app, and then you say like, okay, I see there's a show in Queen Anne on Friday night. It's $15, but you don't know where it is. You just know it's in Queen Anne,
and you don't know who's playing.
And so it's sort of just this mystery of like it's going to be a 3-person show or a three band show, 3-artist show, whatever. And you just show up. They just send you a text of like, this is the address, and sometimes it's at someone's backyard, sometimes it is in like an apartment complex, sometimes it's in like a banquet hall. You just don't know where it's going to be. But they're usually pretty awesome. And so that was one of the last shows that we did, was one of those. They're a lot more intimate and like stripped down. So it's always Mitch and me doing them, because it's like if we bring like a whole drum drum and bass with us, then it's just too much of a thing. It's too loud. There's not enough space. A lot of times there's just like no room to do all of it. Because I think I've also played in a clothing store, and we had trouble like being up there. Like it was like we had like this much space for all of our gear, and like we didn't have a big setup or anything. It's like, I'm glad we didn't invite Cody and Jesse, because this would not have worked out.
Y'all have been standing on top of the amps and stuff. That'd be good.
It happened. It's like, the classic DIY venue thing. Like you look at a stage and like, I don't know how to fit 4 people like in a drum set on there, but somehow you find a way. That's the thing in every city that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Just like overcoming those obstacles.
Right. The venue's like, or the bar's like, yeah, we got a stage, and it's like you show up and it's like a 5x4, and you're like, cool, all right,
we'll make it work. Yeah.
Luckily, Ted Nugent's not playing with his 40 Marshall stacks behind him.
That was the very last show we did.
Yeah.
And then like a few days before that, we had a proper big show on a Saturday night. Like, one of our best shows ever, where you like sold out a 200-person room on a Saturday night in Seattle. We were the headliner, felt on top of the world, and then a few days later,
the world disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's something that us as fans, us as podcasters, that we can do to help bands like y'all, keep your music alive, keep other bands' music alive? What's something that we can do to help?
Oh gosh. Stream the music. Listen to the music on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you listen to it. It like helps the algorithms. Go see live music when it happens again. Gosh, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's a great question. I wish I had some more wisdom to impart on it. There, obviously, if you can our band's in debt. Making music can be expensive. We're paying for mixing, mastering, and we front money for shirts and CDs and stuff. It can be expensive, and a lot of when most bands tour, they lose money. So like, if people have the means, but buy their merch, go to their Bandcamp, buy things.
buy the merch.
But
for sure.
Right now, a lot of people don't have the means to do that, and they still want to support. There are a lot of free ways to support bands still. Everything Brielle just said about streaming is a great way. Just like bands on Instagram, subscribing on YouTube, are all things for a lot of bookers or external people who review music.
Right.
Those are qualifiers that they'll, if you have 20,000 Instagram followers versus 2,000, you seem more legitimate. People are more willing to review you.
People are more willing to book you, give you a better night.
Yeah, all those things are free for people to do on the audience side, and actually do help bands.
Right. Well, that's what we're here for. At this point, we would come to your show tonight if y'all were playing, but obviously that's not gonna happen. I couldn't come tonight, the least we can do is, put y'all on our podcast, put y'all on our Instagram, put y'all on YouTube, and get y'all out there as much as we can. One thing I always like to ask bands is who's a band that we, other than y'all, of course, who's another band that we should be listening to that maybe we don't know?
Like a small band or just anyone?
Either or.
Who's like a local homie? Well, what's your favorite band Andre plays in?
My favorite band. Oh, I love Maria Massa and The Mood. They're a Portland band.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like R&B, soul, female fronted, dope ass band. Check them out.
I'll check them out.
And The Mood. Yeah.
We've got another local buddy, Jason McHugh. He's like an indie folk guy. A lot of his songs have like a cool Elliott Smith vibe. Killer guitar player. He's maybe the only person I know who put out a pandemic related EP that didn't suck. Like it was one of those things where it wasn't just like I'm in quarantine. It's like there's actually cool songwriting behind it and not kitschy.
Yeah.
We love Jason McHugh. He's a good friend of ours.
Shouts out Jason McHugh.
Jason McHugh. I'll check him out. Grant and I are.
He actually has a KXP in studio session. We were talking about KXP I think before we started recording.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of love on that station too, and he's got some good performances on there.
I promise you, Grant and I will check it out. All of our friends think we're weird because of the music we listen to, but I think they're weird that they don't listen to our music. So
right.
I promise you, we will check these bands out.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready for Pete Peterson's party pack of questions? Because ready or not, it's about to come your way.
Let's do it.
So are we both going to answer? Or do you want to like alternate? I don't know what makes sense for you guys.
I think I want both y'all to answer because I think there'll be different answers for each of these. So
okay, I'm gonna let
Real, you just go first every time, and then Mitch, you follow up. All right, let's go. Introduce it, Grant.
All right, here we go. This is Pete Peterson's potty pack of questions. 20 questions, real quick, right now. How do you take your eggs?
Poached.
Scrambled.
Last artist you heard in the car?
Carla Morrison.
Tom Waits.
Your favorite podcast?
Oh my gosh. That's tough. I don't know.
You keep thinking.
Okay.
I really like interview podcast, WTF with Mark Maron.
All right.
Can I pass on that one?
You can pass. You can pass. Favorite rapper?
Favorite rapper? I don't know why I don't love Cardi B, but the first thing in my head, I thought Cardi B, but I don't actually.
Cardi B it is.
Cardi B.
Oh, man. Oh, shoot.
You got to go Nelly. You're from St. Louis. I mean.
I don't like Nelly that much.
Oh, man.
Maybe one of the other St. Lunatics.
Shit. Come back to me. I have an answer. I don't know yet. I need
we'll
like my iTunes in front of me.
I know,
to
me
scroll
too. Because
through.
I feel like there's totally rappers like that. I'm very lyric heavy, and so it's like if a rapper's like hella like deep and like meaningful, then
MF Doom. There you go.
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
R.I.P.
I don't want to commit and then say I wish I said this person instead.
Right. I'm gonna go plug my laptop in. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Go-to spot to eat.
I'm poor. I don't have that many spots I can afford to go out to eat at. It got to be some. I never know the names of places, but there's a few really good Thai places. Brie always picks them out, and I like them. Some Thai place local.
Babar over on Capitol Hill, great Vietnamese food. Babar. Also Thai food over in Ballard. Pestle Rock is a really good one. Love that place.
Sounds like we need to take you to Buford Highway when you come here to Atlanta. It's a very, very, very ethnic, diverse, beautiful road that's got many different options in that category. So
shit, yeah.
All right, here we go. Best country to travel to, or best part of the country if you haven't been out of the country.
One of my favorite places I've ever been was Costa Rica.
All right.
Loved Costa Rica.
I've never been, but like Australia and New Zealand is high up on the list for me.
Okay. Awesome.
Iceland as well. What's this backdrop? Is this an island?
How's your island? Where are you streaming from?
I'm on COVID island right now because I currently have it. So, cake or pie?
Cake
Pie.
I don't know. I don't really like either. Probably pie.
Frosting's overrated. Pie for sure.
Pie for sure. French toast or biscuits and gravy?
French toast, 100%.
Biscuits, gravy.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Last song you sang in the shower?
I'm gonna be truthful. Be prepared from the Lion King.
There you
go. Probably a Phoebe Bridgers song. I probably motion sickness or something like that.
Nice. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are robots to take over the world? You guys are near Microsoft's headquarters. I mean,
was gonna say, dude, I feel like it's already happened. You know.
Okay, so 10.
10 out of 10, 11 out of 10.
2.
2.
Yeah.
All right, he thinks the humans still got the chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're smart enough to even make him smart enough to kill us.
All right, best job outside of being a musical artist that you've had?
Best job. Truthfully, probably the job that I have now. I'm actually a nanny right now, and I wasn't expecting to love my job as much as I do, but it's super solid, and I get to just be silly all day, and that's what I do best. So
there you go.
It's the job I have now. A few months ago, I stopped doing all the jobs where I worked for other people, and I'm self-employed music teacher right now. I make a living being a musician. I teach a bunch of students different instruments, and that's been amazing.
Yeah,
inspiring the youths, both members of High Crime. Let's go.
I'm good at it too. I didn't know I had that skill, but I like it. I'm good at it, and yeah.
All right,
Marty Music.
Yeah.
I sometimes watch. So if a kid wants to learn a specific song and I need to learn it, I will sometimes watch Marty Music's. So he'll
He's the man.
I'll teach the kid.
He's the man. I mean, you can't deny it.
Yeah. So some of the other, and he looks more normal. So there are some guitar teachers on YouTube who have I don't know, they're aliens. Just and people can dress and act the way they want, but
it's like they don't go outside ever. They're always in their bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Red chili or white chili?
Oh God, what's the difference? I don't know. Red, sure.
Red's like your regular chili. White chili is, white bean, white chicken chili.
Oh yeah, red chili all the way.
All right, artists you guys would like to collab with?
Oh,
yeah.
Let's
Dream.
see.
Oh.
Artists I'd like to collab with. Where do I begin? Definitely Phoebe Bridgers. What would be a dream collab?
Dead or alive too. So if you want to bring Prince back to life, I mean that is totally fair game.
Okay.
There are people I'd be intimidated by. I love David Bowie. He would hate me. I'm not cool and create I wouldn't be able to take his criticism that the music sucks. Shit, bitch. I don't know.
That's so much pressure. Drake. I want to collab with Drake, honestly.
All right. Actually,
this is cheating because there's no rules. Rick Rubin has produced so many different styles and made so many cool albums. I'd be really interested in having Rick Rubin produce us.
That'd great podcast as well.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. Yeah, that's where I thought about it. He did the Strokes' newest record. He did a lot of Johnny Cash stuff. Did Tom Petty. He did all the.
He did Jay-Z. I mean, he's all over the place.
But was he Boys? Is that what got him famous first? I know it was some '80s rap hip hop. I forget the artist.
It might have been the Beastie Boys. I can't remember. But yeah, Rick Rubin's the man.
Yeah.
All right. Best concert you've ever been to?
Okay, I have one. First would probably be Flume. I saw Flume before he blew up. Like, he played a really small show in Seattle. It was still sold out, but it was, truthfully, I think I was 20 at the time, and somehow I convinced the door girl to let me in. It was a 21 plus show. So I was like, yeah, I was so excited. And then he had an hour and a half encore. And I remember I was like, holy shit, this is the best night of my life. And he played an hour and a half extra. So it was magic. And then probably following that, I saw a theater show with James Blake, and he is even more heavenly and divine in person, truthfully. Like, he was like, oh, I'm kind of like sick and whatever, and he was drinking tea, and my friend and I are like, oh, is he gonna be okay? And he like kind of cleared his throat, and it just like the most beautiful voice came out. We're like, he's fine. What?
This guy talking about, he's fine.
He's crushing. He's truthfully, like, if you ever see like anyone in concert ever again, James Blake. He's
James Blake. That was not one that would be on my list, but after that review, I'm gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, as you know, the concert is more. There's an experience to the concert, so I feel like Gorillaz might be my number one. I waited. They played in arena. I don't go to that many arena shows, but I got general admission to Gorillaz, and I waited. I think I got to the venue 8 hours early so I could get a spot front row and center.
Really?
I did, and it was for like the visuals they had a bunch of cool guest features, like live on stage, and they played a new song for the very first time, so I thought that was cool to like hear something new, and they put on a great show. It was a long show. I loved that. Few quick runner-ups. David Byrne, he had from Talking Heads. A lot of people may have seen the American Utopia show that was on, was it Netflix or HBO Max a few months ago. But I saw that show when it was still touring. That was great. Fleet Foxes are way up there. Tame Impala, Father John Misty puts on really good shows.
Did you know that Father John Misty was the original drummer for Fleet Foxes?
Oh, dude, I know.
Oh.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know that.
I saw him with Fleet Foxes and then solo. I'm trying to find all my fancy pictures here. So I got where's me with Josh? I know I have a photo of me with Father John. I have me with a bunch of people here.
You're so famous.
Yeah.
Tash and I have a photo with a Diet Sig, but
there's me with Robin from Fleet Foxes.
All right.
Then I've got Father John Misty a few times. I've got him in here. Anyway, I've got a bunch.
All right, yeah.
All right, circling back on our aliens reel. Let's go ahead.
Yes, 100%. How can we be the only ones out there, truthfully? I also recently just watched, my boyfriend's like, I don't know, but we watched this, what's that movie? Something of the Third Kind.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yeah, so there's a documentary, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and it's about making contact with aliens and how to do it. And there's like an app you can download, and there's like all these things and I'm like, honestly, I low-key want to contact aliens. I don't think they're evil. I think they're just afraid of our government. If I'm being very conspiratorial right now.
Yes, they're out there. No, yes. They don't have UFOs that have come near Earth. I don't think that's ever happened, but that they're out there.
Why? Why don't you think that? There's so many like unexplainable UFO sightings.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Jamie, pull it up. All right. How about your go-to beverage? You walk up to the bar. What are you getting?
What time of year is it?
Oh,
it is
now.
February.
Now? Oh, okay. Hot toddy for sure.
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy.
You from Ole Miss? What is that?
I think all that it is just honey, lemon, and whiskey and water, but it's hot.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes if they're fancy bar, they put a cinnamon stick in there. But
Alright.
I thought there was tea in it for a long time, but there's not.
You know what my answer is, right?
Mitch only likes water. He doesn't even like sparkling water. I also don't really drink, but if I'm going up to the bar, then that's probably what I'm getting.
Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so water's my move. Don't put lemon in there. Don't put cucumber. Don't make it sparkle. Just water. Ice too.
He wants ice in the water. All right. I like it. I like it.
I just don't.
That's the only thing on my rider. Yeah.
That's
bottled
Cold
water.
water.
Cold water.
And maybe a big thing of brown M&Ms.
Only brown.
Only
M&Ms.
brown M&Ms.
All right. I don't know.
Okay.
Or the Wayne's World 2 reference.
I never saw that one.
Okay. It's not as good as the first one.
All right. Well, how do you guys take your coffee?
This is another
I only
thing.
drink water.
Mitch literally
Water.
only drinks water. He doesn't drink tea. He doesn't drink coffee. He doesn't drink sparkling water. He doesn't drink alcohol. Like nothing. Just water.
Do you like milkshakes or like anything like that? Or
Milkshakes are great. Like, so the exceptions, like milk with cereal, lemonade. Yeah, I did different juices. Apple juice is good. And the weirdest thing I probably do is like around Christmas time, like eggnog. I can tell.
eggnog is the way to go. I love eggnog.
I love eggnog. Yeah. How do I like my coffee?
But
go ahead.
the joke on Reddit, like the hydro homies thing, like that's a joke for a lot of people. That's my life though.
Hydro homies?
It's like a subreddit where just people who like are obsessed with drinking water and like will shame people for not drinking water. It's a joke, but it's like actually my existence.
Yeah, for sure. I really like my coffee with coconut milk and honey.
All right. All right.
And I don't want to pass on the rapper. I'm going to commit to Tyler the Creator.
Tyler the Creator.
There we go.
That's number 4. Here we go. Hey, best concert T-shirt you guys own.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm such like a minimalist with my clothes. Like I don't really think I have ours. We have the best.
we have really good shirts.
Great merch. Go to our website.
There we go. I love the plug.
People, I still get texts about how comfy our shirts are and the designs. Brielle's really good friend Laurel designed her last shirt. That turned out great. We've done 3 shirt designs, and like, it's one of those things where we put more effort than just like a band logo or an album cover. We try to make dope merch.
I like that.
I feel like you have some cool band t-shirts.
I do.
So.
Yeah, maybe Always, the one that spells their name with 2 V's.
I love that band. I've seen
it. They were my last concert, March 9th. They opened for the Strokes, so Always with the Strokes is my last concert.
Oh, man.
I've got the shirt from before. I've seen him a few times, but there's a graphic designer who goes by the name Killer Acid. He has designed shirts for Kurt Vile, another one of my favorites. But his design for Always is a really good shirt. I wear that a lot.
Nice. All right, well, coming back to rap. Rap song you know every lyric to.
Oh, 1-2 Step.
1-2 Step.
My Sierra?
My Sierra.
There's a Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott.
Yes. Oh yeah.
My middle school dance days were filled with that song many times.
Awesome.
Maybe it would probably be Eminem. Lose Yourself. I might know everything.
I would love to hear that.
But is it Without Me? I might get pretty close. Yeah. So like the big Eminem songs. I might.
Me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, the 20th question in Pete Peterson's party pack of questions.
Okay.
Did we like take a really long time to do this? I know this is supposed to be rapid fire.
That's fine.
No, it's good. No, it's good. It's a good to get you. Guilty pleasure song. All right. So I mean, you turn it on, you're like, everyone's gonna hate me for loving this song, but I love it anyway, and I don't care.
I have no shame. Like guilty pleasure is. I told you I listened to Be Prepared from The Lion King. I have tons of them. But, what's the guiltiest?
The guiltiest?
Jewel, You Belong to Me. It's like the cheesiest. I listen to it and I'm like, I judge myself for that one actually, but I like it. I like it.
For me, it's probably...
That's very confessional, and I trust you guys that's delicate information.
We will broadcast this to as many people as possible, so you're good. You're in safe hands.
I probably Michelle Branch for me because I don't
I
even.
love Michelle Branch. She was my like first crush ever growing up.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
just
whole first two records, like it like shaped me as like a little human. So I still listen. Also, On the Road Again, I feel like we listen to that every time we go
Oh,
by Willie
Andre
Nelson.
is-
Yes.
My boyfriend loves that song too.
He'll play it 4 times in a row.
Like, all right,
Yeah,
we're still driving.
it's a bit much.
We're not there yet. Come on. We get it. We're on the road. But that was Six Pack, the Pete Peterson Party Pack of Questions. Thank you guys so much for indulging me with your answers. We will handle all of them with beautiful care.
well, High Crime, it's been a pleasure talking with y'all tonight. We're looking forward to we have fortunately been able to hear y'all's new song, but the rest of the world should be ready to hear y'all's new song. Anything else coming out soon? Anything else y'all want the listeners to know about?
I don't think so. Oh, Mitch is nudging me. I am opening a stuffed animal shop in Etsy coming up, so that's kind of been my new venture. So like I'll show you. I have a couple of them, but this is one of them that I've made. So they're just like
Nice.
they're like little cute I don't know, stuffies, I guess. But I have like a bunch that I'm gonna be dropping in a couple weeks. I'm like still working on the shop, but
But they're all like
That is
super
awesome.
weird and creative. They're not normal stuffies.
But yeah, I guess that's all I want to add. It's called Magic Familiar. Yeah, I don't know about music, but I'm just working on stuffies right now.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hopefully, once the world gets going again, y'all can get on the road, go play some shows, come to Atlanta, and I guarantee you, Grant and I will be in the front row of wherever y'all are playing. It's been a pleasure talking with y'all, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Same.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was great to meet you.
Great to meet y'all.
You guys.